Welcome to Hitman Boxing. Hit that like and subscribe button. We're a couple days removed from the Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz fight. Andy Ruiz stopped Anthony Joshua in the 7th round of their fight to become the new heavyweight champion. A lot of people feel that Anthony Joshua quit in that fight. And, looking at that fight, you know what's crazy, though? I'm sitting here watching this shit on DAZN or replay, right? And, of course, I rewind to go straight to, the 7th round. And you know what's crazy? I'm watching this shit on DAZN, and then, the feed starts cutting out. And it starts, it starts to get blurry as hell right before Anthony Joshua gets dropped for the 4th time. No, for the 3rd time. Shit was crazy. Conspiracy much? But anyway, we're removed from that Deontay, I got this dog, man. It's Anthony Joshua, Andy Ruiz fight. And, Anthony Joshua took an L. A lot of excuses on the line. I've heard a lot of shit. I heard people saying, it was the UK Mafia that was pressing AJ, all these excuses and shit. I heard that he had a concussion going into the fight. That's bullshit, too. Anthony Joshua's already said that wasn't the case. So, having said that, Deontay Wilder doesn't feel that he's going to go through with that rematch with Andy Ruiz. He feels that, Anthony Joshua's style is tailor-made for Andy Ruiz, which it really is, because let's face it, Andy Ruiz was the better man on Saturday. He was the better man. He beat Anthony Joshua. He beat the man. So he took his belts. Hopefully these belts don't get split up, man. That's what I'm concerned about. These sanctioning bodies issuing these fucking mandatories, and and the dude, if AJ decides to exercise his rematch clause, then we're going to be screwed. But Deontay Wilder feels like Anthony Joshua doesn't have any heart, so he's not going to take the rematch. He feels that he had a lot of shit to say about Anthony Joshua, man. He was really going in. He was upset at the fact that Anthony Joshua quit in the 7th round. When I saw the fight the first time around, I was like, this dude quit. He quit, man. He let a lot of people down. He let an entire, group of people down that were supporting him. And, I felt like he spit his mouthpiece out, man. He's looking back at his corner. He's not walking forward when the ref tells him to walk forward. He really looked like he didn't want to be there. And he looked like he was relieved to lose that fight, to be quite honest. He definitely looked like he was relieved to lose that fight to Andy Ruiz. I mean, he even made a comment saying, he wished it was Wilder who beat him. Come on, bro. Why are you talking like that? You have people vouching for you on YouTube and shit. Everything everyone was saying about the whole Wilder-Joshua situation was correct. All of it was correct. Anthony Joshua had the better body of work. He was the A side to Deontay Wilder's B side. But now, none of that stuff matters. It doesn't matter because Anthony Joshua lost to a guy who was a backup for a guy he was supposed to be fighting. A dude who only had a 4-week training camp, who probably ate excessively during that training camp and walked into that ring, had you shook from the moment the bell rang, from the 1st round to the 3rd round when he dropped your ass, and you got overconfident when you dropped him the 1st time, and you tried to finish him off, but he countered you. Andy Ruiz has some fast hands. He's a counter puncher. So, somewhat tailor-made for Anthony Joshua. Now, Anthony Joshua, what he has to do here, he's got to go back. He has to have the rematch. Andy Ruiz talking about he want to have a rematch in Mexico. I heard Eddie Hearn say he wants to rematch in the UK. If he really that dude, he'll go to Mexico and beat him in front of his fans. Beat him in front of all the Mexicans. You know what I'm saying? But we know that's not going to happen. The rematch will more than likely happen in the UK. And, Anthony Joshua, man, you got to drop some weight, man. The muscles ain't doing you no favors for your endurance. Something was off about that fight. It's more than just Andy Ruiz was the better man that night. He was, I don't know, man. You can't tell me Anthony Joshua can't be that fucking chinny. Because them punches didn't even look like they landed that hard. Real talk. So, like Deontay Wilder said, Anthony Joshua has no heart. He's not a true champion. These are just things that he was saying. He's not a true champion. He's a fraud. All these things that I'm paraphrasing. So Anthony Joshua has a lot to prove at this moment. He has a lot to prove to himself, to his promoter, to the people out there, his fans, and his naysayers. He has to come back and he has to knock Andy Ruiz out. He's got to do that. He's got to come back and do that. Because if he doesn't, if he decides not to take this rematch, then that means he's shook. If he comes back and loses to Andy Ruiz for a second time, he's a hype job. He's a hype job. If you get beat twice by the same dude that nobody thought would beat you, you are a hype job. And it's no discredit to Andy Ruiz. I mean, he did his thing. He did what he had to do to win. He became the first Mexican-American heavyweight champion in history. He made history on Saturday night. Deontay Wilder also feels that Andy Ruiz ain't trying to get in the ring with him anytime soon. Now, the way I see things is, if Deontay Wilder would have fought Andy Ruiz, he would have knocked him out in the first round. It would have been a very similar scenario to what he did to Dominic Breazeale. That's just my thoughts on it. And I was expecting the exact same thing from Anthony Joshua. I was expecting the same thing. Man, he got caught. This dude got caught. Something fierce, man. He didn't recover after the third round. That shit is crazy. There's people talking about this shit that never talk about boxing. I've had multiple conversations with people that don't ever watch boxing but saw that shit. If y'all want to say Anthony Joshua wasn't known in the States before, shit, his ass is infamous now. Because motherfuckers, and you know what, it's for the wrong reason too. Because they saw what happened to your ass. I seen all the memes, this nigga get knocked out. This nigga get knocked down, his soul leaving his body. Yo, shout out to LM. I seen your video, bro. You gotta make some more videos. Shout out to him. He from out here too, so I gotta give him respect. But Anthony Joshua, he's got a lot to prove to himself, man. I didn't like the way he conducted himself after the fight. Being all cool and shit with Andy Ruiz. He just don't seem hungry, man. He don't got that fire in his eyes. He don't got that fire in his heart. I ain't seen that shit from him in a long time, not since that whole Breazeale situation. He seems tame and timid and shit. I don't like that shit. We need to see a different side of Anthony Joshua. We need to see a more brash, cold-hearted Anthony Joshua. Not that laughing and smiling and shit. Nah, fuck all that shit. I don't want to see that shit. I want to see you get in the ring and I want to see you beat Andy Ruiz. And after that, you need to fight Deontay Wilder. The fight's not dead, However, there was a lot of money that should have been made from that fight when both of these dudes were undefeated. And now with one losing, that pot, I think it drops, man, because right now we don't know where Anthony Joshua is mentally. Wilder thinks he's checked out. Wilder thinks he's a hype job, man. That's what he thinks. So Joshua got to prove him wrong. That's really it, man. Let me know what you guys think of Deontay Wilder's comments. Is he spot on? What do you think about Anthony Joshua taking the L? But I didn't appreciate how he took that L. He was humble, but at the same time, dude, I'm gonna need you to show a little bit more emotion. Be upset that you lost. I know people take things in a different way and they deal with adversity in different ways and shit, but nah, bro, you seem a little too relaxed to take that loss. You were relieved. But that was the biggest stage of your career in the United States. And you had a lot to prove and you blew that shit. Now Andy Ruiz is the heavyweight champion. Hitman Boxing. Drop a comment, like the video, subscribe. I'm out.
out the dirt. As a shorty, I was studying my roots. Quiet dude, neutral, playing everything cool. Been a lot of things, I ain't never played a fool. Young OG and I'm pouring up a deuce. Catch me riding with a bad chick beside me, feeling glorious like life is astounding. Let's get high and sit on top of a mountain. This right here should have the real niggas bouncing. Yeah, chill God back in effect. I do it for the love, but I'm trying to get a check. Need that respect, ain't no doubts about it. If a nigga hesitating, I'ma snatch him out it. Tired of these niggas thinking they know me. I was on my 5th life back in 03, doing things that they could not imagine. They just wishing code names be Aladdin. Real niggas since day one, A1. You know what it is when I come on. Vibing, riding this way.